I'm muted. There we go. Hey, how's it going? All right, what is going on? Let me say some hellos. I was just finishing watching a very interesting video, which I'll talk about here in just a minute. But let's see, Dagoth, Carl, Danny, Enrico, what's going on? D'Angelo. Hey, Enrico, I sent your package to like the Florida delivery service that you use. Do you get like a confirmation once that arrives or not? Is there any way that you can confirm for me that that arrived there or not yet? Or do you just kind of have to just check with them if it's there or not? Let me know, just curious, just to make sure. It should have arrived by now. That's why I'm asking. Sir Tom, Ricky B, what's going on? Edge Requiem. Let's see, XN, Sever, Chris Bullis, Jason, Ramiro, Ivan. See a lot of familiar faces there. How's it going, guys? Enrico, you got it yesterday. Okay, good, cool. Good to hear. Hamza, let's see, let me check over on Facebook. There's Douglas. What's going on, Douglas? D'Angelo, I saw you there. What's going on? Edgar as well on Facebook. Anybody watching on Twitch at the moment? We are streaming to Twitch, right? I don't know if anyone's watching on Twitch at the moment, but I assume there's probably a few. I'm glad, Enrico, because a few of the packages got released. I went to the post office with 17 packages. That was where all the giveaway prizes and then some other stuff from the Mechadro contest, which recently wrapped as well too. There we go. V01 and D'Angelo on Twitch. Okay, Twitch definitely works. Okay. Yeah, so I went to the post office with 17 packages to send out, and 3 of them at the time I just couldn't send. Like, they wouldn't let me send it because one was to the UK, one was to Australia, and the other one was to I think the Philippines. And just because of COVID restrictions, they don't send anything, I guess, to those areas. Like, you could send it to the Philippines, but like only to Manila. It's one of those. And I think they recently had a similar thing with Canada as well too. Like, you could only send to Toronto or something until just recently, if they finally opened that up. But so I went with 17, was only able to send 14. And then of those 14 that I sent, 3 came back because fortunately they didn't go like all the way to their destination and back. They went to like the Seoul, to like the main international like distribution for mail and stuff, whatever. So 3 of them came back. One was for my mom. It was a birthday present for my mom. It had perfume in it, and apparently you're not allowed to send perfume. The other one was one of the prizes, and it was including a little bottle of the Tamiya weathering liquid. Not able to send that, so I had to take that out, send that again. And then the other one was sending the prize with the Plamo Kojo Workstation Pro that I reviewed, and then I was just gonna give that away to one of you guys. And so that has a built-in battery in it, and so anything with a battery you can't send as well too. So it's not like if it's just like double A's or something in it, I could take out the batteries and send it, but because it's just built in, there's nothing I could do. So I was not able to send that, unfortunately. So I had to get in touch with the winner of that prize and let him know the bad news that I couldn't send that, unfortunately. But so yeah, Enrico, good to hear that your package didn't have anything that caused it to be returned, and that everything was delivered fine. Let's see. Boom Cannon and Ivan, or let's see, on Twitch there, just saying hello to a few more people. Atomic Kid, Boom Cannon, what's going on, guys? Yeah, tough. Also, the shipping fee for everything was quite tough as well too. My wife was not happy when I got home, cause like the credit card that we use here, like I have my own card that I use just like for some stuff, but mostly we just use like a shared credit card. And it's in my wife's name, so she gets text message alerts like anytime it's used. She just gets like a text about it. I guess it's just like to help if your credit card's ever stolen or something. You can see all of a sudden if you start seeing a lot of weird activity or something. So like as soon as I got home from the post office, she'd already know how much it was because she'd seen the text of how much all the shipping fee came to at the post office, and yeah, it was quite a lot. It was like over $500, but Yeah, because apparently at the moment now too, because of COVID, you're only able to send stuff by EMS, not by like regular airmail or even SAL. Like a surface mail is much cheaper. I would usually go with one of those two options. But EMS is it's faster, of course, and it has better tracking on it, so you can track it a lot better. But it's more expensive. So, just again, for those of you guys who did watch the 1-day build live stream and who did make any super chat donations on that day, that really helped out a lot. I mean, it still only covered a portion of the shipping, but you know, it definitely helped. It's better than nothing. So, if any of you guys who were there on that day and donated with a super chat or whatever, appreciate that. That definitely was useful. Happy wife, happy life. Exactly. Boom cannon, that's right. Let's see. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Let's see, Ricky B. Jerry, what's going on, guys? All right, let's go ahead and get to work here on the Dra-C first, and then we'll build a Kampfer. So you guys voted on which ones you wanted to see live. The other kits among the vote are all already built. I already have the review for the Isaac already filmed, recorded, and then the other ones, the Dumb Trappa and the Gelgu Jaeger here, are already built, so I need to record those reviews later today as well too. And then obviously the Dra-C and the Kampfer. So, all right. Oh, turn that down. But yeah, next week, you know, I did like a bunch of EFSF themed HGUC kits last week, and this week I'm working on Xeon HGUC kits. But next week though, I think I need to work on some other stuff, so I won't be doing like a big push against my backlog next week, just a big push of like new kits that I've got in, so it won't be older. The next round of kits that I'm going to be reviewing after these HGUC Xeon kits will be just all new stuff, basically. What is going on, guys? Let's see. Boomkin said, I always wanted to know... sorry, let me move the chat here. I always want to know what's up with the Kid Goku figure as like your signature or something. No, I don't know. It's just something to put in the pictures. If you go back, like whenever I used to do like my posts for live stream builds and stuff, I used to change up the figure, and I would use just like other different character figures, like a Bulma figure or a different Love Live figure or something like that. Just whatever figures I have around, just to put something else in the photo. But I just kind of like just stopped using other stuff and just kind of sticking with using the Goku figure all the time. I love like original series Dragon Ball, not like Dragon Ball Z or Super or GT or anything, just the first series. It's definitely my favorite. I love original Dragon Ball, so just the Kid Goku figure. I just like Kid Goku. That's all. No real special reason for that other than that. XN7, when is the Toads Ritter though? Yeah, Toads Ritter as well too, yeah. Probably next week. I'll work on that. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, if you guys have questions, just tag me in your question, tag me in your comment or whatever, so I can pick that out a little bit easier in the chat. That'd be much appreciated. Yeah, so you know it's a Zach post when you see the little Goku. Yeah, Enrico, right? Yeah, it gives a kind of very easily recognizable kind of thing in my posts, right? Pop that in there. So before I actually like had this kit in hand, and just seeing pictures of the kit, I never would have known that the upper body and lower body are fused. That it's kind of like one of the older kits where this like hip section and the torso are molded together, so there's no twisting that, unfortunately, because like, just looking at the pictures of the kit, basically it just looks like it's just the parts of the Zakuto F2. So I thought it's just like the waist section, main waist section, and the torso of the Zakuto F2 and the arms. But no, apparently not. So, I mean, it is in design. It looks like that, the design does, but the actual parts are not that. It's just a much more simplified version of that. What do you think about the last episode of Stardust Memory? I don't recall the last episode. I've seen Stardust Memory, but it's been probably 20 years. So I don't... Well, okay, no, that's a lot. Not 20 years. Not been that long. Maybe 15 years. So I don't recall. What's the deal with the last episode of Stardust Memory? How old is the Dra-C kit? This kit is maybe it came out before the Zakuto F2. That's a good point. It came out in 2011, and the Zakuto kit is over there, so I don't remember. So yeah, this kit came out in 2011. The F2 kit came out when? I'll leave that up to you guys because my box is over there. I can't check it at the moment. But yeah, that's possible. Maybe this kit came out first. That's why it's a simpler version. Revan, how's the Dra-C build? Well, I'm just starting it, so far, I mean, it's very basic. But it's not bad thus far. Why is Stargazer so hard to find? You mean like the kit, or like to watch? I'd imagine I mean, I don't know. If the kit is hard to find, it probably just hasn't gotten a reprint from Bandai in a while, would be the reason, I would imagine. Let's see. The forced love triangle between Nina, Ko, and Gato was unlikable. And I kind of hated the resolution at the time. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't recall about the series well enough to really talk much about the story. Josh said the Zakuto F2 came out in 2010, so okay. So not before this. Interesting. Amazing! I mentioned at the start of the stream that I had just finished watching an interesting video. The interesting video that I just finished watching was an interview with Jesse Lee Peterson. If you guys know who that is, or if you've ever seen any video with him, then you know what I'm talking about, but very interesting character. He is a very amazing character. Let's see. I just yeah, I've kind of seen different videos of him, you know, throughout over the years. That's another Polycap there. But just recently, I was just seeing like a couple other new ones, interviews, and other new ones with him that I haven't seen before. So I just over the past little bit, a couple days, I've been catching up on a few of those. Always interesting. Let's see. What's the news on your GPO2? I started work on the GPO2 yesterday, so you guys should see the first work in progress on that pretty soon, probably the beginning of next week. With your film background and tons of gunplay, I hadn't ever thought of trying stop motion animation. No, Boom Cannon, just not for any particular reason other than just that. It's just not something that I'm really interested in. That seems weird. I'm just putting the backpack on here, and it's just kind of weird. This like middle section seems like something should go there, right? But apparently not. Apparently that's it, like that. Alrighty. Oh, I think these piping bits plug into there, that's why. Like that. That's kind of cool. The way the pipes go up and then into the backpack, it does look pretty cool. I mean, the way that the backpack looks and just like the way that it's connected onto the back it is kind of interesting. You have this antenna piece here for as well, which I'm nervous about because it looks like it's going to be very easily broken if I touch that the wrong way. But let's see. We've also got this hip joint piece, and this thruster bell fits into there like that on that. Okay, Have you built the HGGPO1? Yes, Sir Tom. That was actually one of the very first kits that I built. Way back in the day, or about 20 years ago. A couple of the very first kits that I ever had were HGUC, the original RX-782 HGUC kit, and also the two different GPO1, the regular and the FB. No. I don't think I had the regular Zephyranthus. I think I only had the HGUC full Vernon and the GPO3. Actually, maybe a couple of the very first HG kits that I had. Let's see, Zach, would you recommend the RG Ava 2? Yes, I would, yeah. It's a cool kit. The mouth is a little weird, but other than that, it's cool. I know you're not far enough into the build, but would this be a good candidate for Trash to Treasure? This would be a good candidate for a kit bash, in my opinion. That's probably what I'll end up using mine for. Trash to Treasure, I mean, I don't know. It's not, I mean, if my first impression, at least so far, is not that bad. Let's see, PC1. Can you tell me when is the release of the HG Death Scythe? I don't know offhand when the HG Death Scythe is set to be coming out. I would guess probably around May, maybe, at least, if not later, because at the moment we have like all the images and stuff out. If you guys saw the last episode of Zaku News, the news videos that I'm doing now on the USA Gundam TV channel, in the last episode I went over just kind of the most recent news about this stuff, and basically it's just all the recent news we've got is just all images of stuff coming out in April. So April's, I mean, everything up to April we kind of already have basically sorted, I guess. So anything else that we don't know about yet, any further details on them, I mean, I guess would be coming out after April, I would assume. Favorite Ace pilot, Ace Xeon pilot. Also love your channel. Worm, my favorite Xeon Ace pilot, I would probably say would have to be Norris Packard. I mean, because 8th MS team, Norris is awesome. Pretty easy answer, but I mean, there's I'm sure other cool ones as well too, but that would be the first one that immediately comes to mind. In one of your upcoming painted builds with videos, could you try and do some pre-post shading kits on maybe? Yeah. Actually, I was just thinking about that recently, actually. That I wanted to, because I haven't done any pre-shading on anything in a while. So maybe on, yeah, I'll think about that. I'm not sure exactly on which one. It wouldn't really fit for my plans for the PG, because I'm planning on painting that. Yeah, I'm not sure as to which like kind of upcoming kit that I'll do that on, but yeah, I'll definitely probably do some pre-shading on a kit coming up pretty soon, I would imagine. Overlord, or yes, XR Overlord, thank you so much for the super chat. Xeon Amigo, your builds are great. Thank you, I appreciate that. Just getting these legs on here, and it looks like I need to bring over the Zaku 2 F2 kit I have over there just to see how compatible they are. Just kind of interested if you could swap the legs on them or something. There's the legs. I mean, as you would imagine, massive seam line all the way down the length of those. Not surprising there. Do you plan on picking up the Gundam Mark V? Roman asks. Of course. I love Gundam Sentinel designs, and the Mark V is certainly high among them. That was, I mean, before that was announced, that was really high on my list of designs that I wanted, kits that I wanted a kit of, so definitely. Worm said, my answer is Char. Real answer is Gato. I mean, yeah. Char, of course, you know, a good pick if you're talking about favorite ace pilots, you know. Gato as well, I mean, pretty cool in the series, again, as far as I can remember. But just love that Norris in 8th MS team. He's just too cool. Because he's just like a guy, you know. He doesn't seem like he's like a superpower or anything like that, you know. He's just a dude who's just a badass. Just got a couple of stickers here around on the head. Head and shoulders, basically, is what you got for the stickers for this. It's not a whole lot. It's all very blue as well, too. I can't help but wonder if they were to make this design like these days, if they would have maybe added like just changed the design a little bit to add like a second tone of blue or something, just so it's not all in the same color. I wonder, but probably not. I guess they probably just would have kept it all blue, but you know, like two-tone color is something we usually see more with RGs and sometimes MGs. It's not really something that they pushed very much with HG kits, but just because of the fact that it would probably be a little bit more interesting of a kit being in two slightly different color blues rather than just one big mass of just all the same color blue. I wonder if that's to be something that they would have done. Zach, did you know Demon Slayer is coming to Netflix? I don't know. I mean, Demon Slayer, I think that's an anime, right? I'm not really too familiar, so it's not really something I'm very excited about, obviously. Is that the same shade of blue as the Gundam-based Pale Rider? I don't think so. I mean, if you guys saw my review yesterday, you know that I just built that Pale Rider kit. But I built the Expo exclusive version, so it's the extra finished version. But even like the regular version Pale Rider, I'm pretty sure it's not in the same color. Derek, thank you so much for the super chat. Amazing. Favorite Gundam video game? Oh, well, that's a good question. Currently, I am still playing the mobile game a little bit, although not always enjoying it a ton. Kind of like was a bit frustrated playing a little bit last night before bed. So, but favorite Gundam video game? Well, I mean, as far as like a Gundam game that is like kind of more serious, then I mean, well, of the Gundam games that I've played the most, probably Battle Assault 2 on like PlayStation way back in the day, and I had a lot of fun with that. And also like the Dynasty Warriors games on Xbox 360. I think I played Dynasty Warriors 2 and 3 the most. The first one I think I only played a little bit. But yeah, Dynasty Warriors Gundam I had a lot of fun with as well too. I mean, those are not like very serious Gundam games, I guess, but whatever. They're kind of just more of the silly ones, but I had a lot of fun playing those. But I mean, I did also play and enjoy on the PlayStation 2 like Federation vs. Zeon, Zeonic Front. Those were also pretty good as well too. Kind of more like actual Gundam games. Killer OST, yeah, Sushioda, Killer OST for the Battle Assault 2, definitely. Once you move back to the States, are you excited to watch SNL when it's actually live? Boom Cannon. I mean, I don't know. I had never actually ever thought about that at all. I just watched it on YouTube, so I'll probably still just do that. Do you have the Masquerade Wing Ver-Ka Wing Gundam 0 EW? Yes. Okay, sorry, I was reading that wrong. The Masquerade Ver-Ka Wing Gundam 0 EW Mandalorian funny stuff. Yes, I do, and it's actually it's done. It's all painted and everything. I just need to put the final top coat on it. That's what I'm planning to do later today, actually. So you guys should see that. My Wing 0 EW Ver-Ka, the final review of that all painted. You guys should see that next week. Also, my Cooster is all done. I need to show that to you guys, so you should see that next week as well too. Those are two recently finished painted builds, and then I can start on painting the perfect grade, whilst working on the modifications and everything for the GPO2. So that's why I'm going to try my best to just kind of focus on only those 2 projects, not start any other smaller side projects. You know, just painting the PG and working on all the modifications and everything for the GPO2 is plenty to keep me busy. And I have actually a lot of kits that I need to just build and review as well too. So I just should, you know, try to not put too much time, as much as I'd like to. Try to balance my time well, at least, so that, you know, I'm not spending all my time working on painting stuff, you know, because I do need to do reviews as well too. I mean, which is not like a burden. I enjoy that quite a bit as well too, of course. But just letting you guys know that there's a lot of stuff that I've just recently got that I need to review for you guys. So there's a video on that coming out, so I won't spoil the surprise for you quite yet, because I'll let you guys know in a video probably in the next couple days. You should see about that. But got a big stack of kits to work on. Salty that the BGO2 is a PS4 exclusive, one on PC. If you had an opportunity to edit Gundam Plastic model kits, what new features or ideas would you add? Plateau Go. One thing that for HG kits, and I mean MG kits as well too, some of them, but mostly HG kits. One thing that I would add for kits is a lot more hand options. You know, as you guys may well know, most HG kits don't come with very many hand options. So I'd like to add more and better hand options for HG kits. Definitely, that's something I would like to do if I could. Also, making waterside decals standard for all kits would definitely be something I would do. Alright, am I excited for the MG Virtue? Yeah, I am. That should be cool as well too. Pixel Ninja said, has there been a DOM model kit that's with a big heat sword design used on the Master Custom? No, there's not been any model kit that has that in plastic form. So if you want that big massive heat sword, just the resin kit is your only option for that. But it's a great resin kit, and I mean, if you've never worked with resin before, I wouldn't like worry about it. You'll have to paint it, obviously. But I mean, the construction of it is simple enough. It's just very easy parts just to glue together, so it's really easy to build. You have to paint it. If you don't paint, it could be a problem. But you know, just at the very least, just like a can of gray and a can of silver spray paint, you know, something just at least to paint it up simply would be enough to at least get you going, you know. All right, arms is what I'm doing. Let's see, I need a PC1 and one more PC11 and PC5. What's your favorite choice of decals that's not water slide? You mean just like type of decal? Hyper RX. I mean, it's kind of it'd be kind of like a water slide or nothing really for me. I don't really like dry transfers, and like on painted kits, I wouldn't use like sticker decals either. So yeah, it's kind of nothing left at that point except for just water slide decals basically. I mean, or just like hand painting decals, which I've seen some people do, and it's crazy. I don't know if I would ever have the skill or patience to do that, but I mean, that's an option, I guess, technically. What's your opinion on Polycaps? Bilbo, that's a good question, because I definitely want to talk about that, and I've actually considered even making a video about that, because my opinion on Polycaps is I don't have that much of an opinion on them, and I don't understand the hype online. And yeah, I mean, okay, I know that this is just something that like people get excited about, and I just don't know why. Because I mean, I've built a lot of kits. Yes, Edward, I remember you. I guess as far as I can remember you. I've never met you in person, but just seeing your name in the chat, yes, I remember you. Okay, as for Polycaps, yeah, I've built a lot of kits. I've built ones with Polycaps, I've built ones without Polycaps, and honestly, I've not ever really noticed like that much of a difference between ones that do have polycaps and ones that don't. I mean, some kits are more solid than others, but I've built kits with polycaps that are super solid and built ones without polycaps that are just fine. I mean, so honestly, it's just silly, in my honest opinion. Hang on, but first I just want to know. Well, okay, sorry, I'm thinking I want to make this as ×2. I'm just thinking of how I want to make this. I think I'm going to make it with the other arm, but that's okay. We can use that one for the other side. Can I? I can. Basically, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's weird, and I don't understand it. Why people get so worked up about a kit having polycaps or not. I mean, how I see it basically is just like Bandai making kits without polycaps is usually just a sign of like their more advanced kind of engineering of the kits, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the kit's going to be like more solid or better or anything by any means. I mean, I've just seen people go like nuts over it. I don't know, maybe not that nuts, but like, be like, it's such an amazing kit, it doesn't use polycaps. Like, is that a reason why the kit would be amazing? That's like, so your reasoning for thinking the kit is amazing just because it doesn't use polycaps? Like, it just, I mean, there's other reasons why, in my opinion, why you would think that a kit is amazing, and just the fact that it doesn't have polycaps just doesn't seem like that sensible of a reason to me. Oi? What the? Let's see. Just PC joints get loose a lot faster over time. I mean, yeah, maybe, but that's only if like you're moving the kit around a lot over time. I mean, I know some people do like to change the posing. Some people will like just change the pose on their kits sometimes on the shelf, but I mean, ultimately, the kits are not toys; they're model kits, and I see people throwing that out a lot, and so I know it's a bit played out. Everyone knows, yeah. We know they're not toys like that, yeah. But I mean, just again, I know everyone knows this, but I mean, just a reminder that they're not toys. So I mean, like, expecting them to have like a long-lasting playability, that's not really what they're designed for. So if that's your concern, to be able to play with it for a long time, then you know, having the expectation that you're going to be able to do that on kits with a model kit, then it's kind of just having the wrong expectation, I would say. It's not that the kit is bad because it uses polycaps, and so you're not able to, and so it will get loose over time. I don't know. Does that make sense? When you get to the States, will you be displaying kits at USA Gundam Store? Yeah, yeah. I assume so. I think I'll still probably want to sell some of my painted works and stuff, but I will probably be having more stuff on display there. My Messer kit is there at the moment on display, so if you guys are anywhere near USA Gundam Store, you want to see one of my builds in person, you can go there. My Messer is there. Let's see. Sigma said, I play with my Zaku 1 and it likes it. Well, you know, there you go. If you want to play with it like a toy, I mean, by all means, go ahead and do that. But I don't think it's fair to complain about the kit because it gets loose over time because I use polycaps. Because that's not what it's meant to do. I don't know, just trying to think of an apt comparison, but nothing really coming to mind. Speaking of hand options, this kit, I mean, it's cool that you have, for the right side, you have the option of the hand or the gun. But, other than that, you don't have very many hand options with this kit. It's very basic. So, let's see. Can do one or more of these. Like that, okay. Zach, do you know Mecha Gaikotsu? No, I don't know him personally. And I was just thinking about this the other day. I don't know why, but just the thought came to mind. I don't know anyone who knows him. I don't know. Have any of you guys ever like had a conversation with Mecha Gaikotsu? Of all the people that I know, I don't know of anyone who has. Even there we go. Even to this degree, as we're having a conversation, as much as this can be a conversation between us, but even to this degree, I mean, I thinking back, I want to say I think he's maybe live streamed a couple times, but it was like for doing like his take on like news videos, kind of, right? I think he's maybe done a couple of live kind of news videos, possibly. They need to offer spare parts for hands in the box, or rather take one extra pair of hands wrist parts instead of extra weapons. I can't even put on the kit. Yeah, I mean, in all actuality, I mean, I would love to have lots of weapons and lots of hands in the kit. But if I had to choose between the two, I mean, I guess it's a fair point saying you would prefer more hands. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it would depend on the kit. I think ideally it would just be good to have both. These stickers are not the easiest to put in there, and I'm feeling like I'm not going to enjoy putting in 8 of them. But what are you gonna do? Silly. Yes, don't necessarily need to put your comments in all caps unless you're like asking a question or something. If you have a question, you can put it in all caps if it's like a question for me, but even then you don't necessarily need to do that. You can just tag me in your question, your comment, and I can see it easier. Has anyone in the chat ever broke Gunpla when doing a straight build? Yeah, sure. I mean, I have broke parts while just like snap building a kit. Has happened. Hello. So you want to ask something, what's your opinion on big color correcting stickers? I mean, like, you hate to see it. Especially when it's for like a part that seems like it could very easily have been an extra piece. Like for these parts, for example, I think this definitely could have been one single red piece inside of there that kind of just fits up through the holes. And I think probably if Bandai were to make this kit like now in 2021, probably it would be a separate red piece in there. It's just at the time they didn't. So I mean, like that kind of thing. Let's see. But yeah, any tips for first time custom? Well, if it's your first time custom, my first question would be, have you done a number of like just non-custom but like just regular painted builds? I mean, maybe like a custom color scheme or something, but like have you done a handful of like just regular painted builds where you didn't do a lot of like custom work on them already before? Like basically my point is like taking the time, like gotten a good experience so far with like just basic painting skills and like seam line removal and all that, sanding, using putty, things like that. I mean, are these things that you've all already had some experience with ahead of time? What's going to be the most difficult or obtuse kit to move when you do move the Deep Striker? Yeah, that's a good question, because yeah, like the really massive boxes like the Deep Striker, the Mechanicore kits, the Deep Striker and the Ziegler, I'm not sure how I'm going to go about sending those. What I'm thinking to do with those, and this is going to be kind of a pain in the ass, but I think it's probably going to be the best way to do it, is to cut all the parts off the runners and maybe just ditch the box. I'm a little bit worried about that because if I ever want to resell the kit, like if ever comes the day when I realize, all right, never gonna actually build this kit and I just need to sell it, then I might have a harder time selling it without the box and like just with all the pieces just all cut off the runners and everything. I feel like maybe not. If someone really wants the kit, then they're probably willing to, buy the kit in that state. But at the same time, I don't know. I'm just a little bit worried about that. Just for myself, I don't really mind. So basically what I would do is like just cut off, like for example, all the pieces for one arm and put them in like a little bag, a Ziploc bag or something. And then all the pieces for the head in a little bag, and then all the pieces for the torso. So I just like cut it out all like that and then just pack it like that. Probably be an easier way to go. Very time consuming just even to do that, but I think that's probably going to be the best way to pack those really super massive kits like that. That'll also save a bunch. I mean, like just getting rid of all the runners, just the runners will, I think, save a lot on the shipping. Fingers crossed. But good question. How about selling it, then rebuy? Oof, no, I wouldn't want to do that. I don't know. I mean, selling it, yeah, like if it came down to it and if I had to, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I'm not sure I would ever rebuy the kit just because of how expensive those kits are now. I mean, like, it was expensive when I got it, but it's gonna be much more expensive now. And if any of you guys have ever like been in the market, wanted to buy a Mechanicore kit like later after the fact, just because they're harder to find and everything later. I mean, you're paying a lot more than what the original list price was. So like if the kit was originally $300, for example, I'm sure they're going for at least $500. So I mean, if I were to sell it, that would basically just be saying bye-bye forever to it. Never gonna happen at that point. But all right. I mean, unless it was like a commission or something, and like the person who was ordering the commission was paying for the kit, then maybe yeah. Let's see. What would you suggest for removing nub marks? Asus. My technique that I stick with is I just cut it off the runner with nippers, and then I just clean up the nub with the knife. And at least for like just snap building kits for reviews and stuff, that's usually about the extent of it. I usually don't do a whole lot of sanding for just getting them to this point. I will go in and do a lot more sanding than before actually painting the kit, but you know, just for building the kit up, just for review, usually I can do it fine with just a knife. Who wouldn't buy a kit from the man Zaku himself? Yeah, Edward, fortunately I'm in a position because of my YouTube channel that I probably have an easier time selling stuff than others. So like even if I was selling the kit like without the original box and everything, I think people might be more inclined to buy it just because it's from me, as silly as that is. But it is what it is. What's your favorite P Bandai kit? HyperX? Oh man, I mean all the Advanced Zeta P Bandai kits are fantastic, but I also love the Uma Lightning's high mobility type master grade Gelgoog kit. Yeah, that is a really great one as well too. I just love that design. Okay, a lot of questions here coming in. Let me see if I can get through these. So here's the Dra-C anyway. And then we'll start on the Kampfer in just a minute. Let me just go through some of these questions here. Scarlet Rain said, what are your thoughts on P Bandai getting more original kits that will never see a retailer release? I mean, it sucks. I don't know. I would prefer the kits come out as P Bandai than not at all. So I mean, like the Advanced Zeta kits, for example. I mean, if I had the choice of they're coming out as P Bandai or they're not coming out at all, I mean, I'd rather have them as P Bandai. Yeah, it sucks that they're P Bandai, but Bandai's just making their own, you know, business decisions. You know, you may not agree with some of their business decisions, but I think in general, you know, Bandai makes a lot of really great products that are not P Bandai. I mean, they are really good quality, very fairly priced. So it's kind of hard to be mad at them as a company. They seem to, you know, they make a very good product in general for a very reasonable price. So it's not like they're a bad company, you know. What is your opinion about doing commission work and their impact for the community? I don't really see commission work as having a big negative impact or anything on the community. I mean, I could take your point maybe if you were to make the point that like people just ordering commissions, you know, maybe stops them from just, you know, developing the skills for themselves, where they should, you know, learn to paint and make stuff by themselves instead of just paying someone else to do it for them. I could see that maybe, but it's such a rare thing. It's not that prevalent. If that was happening a lot, then I would say, yeah, more people should just learn to paint themselves, but it doesn't happen that much. And a lot of people just don't have the time or resources to be able to paint, so I mean, it's understandable. They really want to enjoy having a nice painted work, but, you know, just they work a lot, they have a family, or they don't have the means to do that themselves maybe at this point. So if they want to order it from someone else, I don't see anything wrong with that. I've done commission work in the past. I'm not doing any at the moment, but I think, yeah, it's fine. What's your opinion? Okay, I just read that. What kit runner has your favorite color straight out of the box? Ooh, Juicy Glow. That's a good question. Man, favorite color straight out the box. I feel like there's at least one kit that I'm sure like that I remember that I just really loved the colors of it straight out the box. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But one thing that does come to mind is the recent release of the Judge kit. What's the company that makes that? Something. The Judge, the non-Gundam kit that just came out. I'm gonna be reviewing that kit, by the way. Mine's in the mail. It should be here, I don't know, maybe next week or something. So I really love the colors of that's molded, and I've seen some pictures. One of the guys in my Discord has been building that and just sharing the pictures. And I mean, that kit looks amazing. Just just straight out the box. Anyway, I mean the design. I'm not sure that I love the design. I think the design is growing on me more. When it was first announced, I didn't pre-order it straight away. Actually, I wasn't really into the design. It was a bit too much for me. Zero Gravity. Thank you, Excellent Ever. Yeah, Zero Gravity. Is the company that's making it. But yeah, the design is growing on me more, but I mean, just the colors that it's molded in straight out the box, the plastic colors look fantastic. So I mean, that looks really nice. The color separation, everything looks good. But other colors that I like straight out the box, I mean, yeah, Who is that I just saw in the chat? Oak Tree, yeah, over on Twitch. Yeah, Oak Tree with a very good point saying that the Mechatro WeGo kits are in great colors. Yeah, that's true. The Mechatro WeGo kits are always in really nice colors straight out of the box. That's true. But a lot of things. Thoughts on the shoulder balls, Mulambo? I like it. I mean, it's a cool aspect of this design. But I also really like the P-Bandai version with like the big, like more angular. They kind of look like kind of flower, kind of like mecha flowers on the shoulders. I really like that version as well too, and I really thought about buying that many times. Basically, I would just want to use that for kit bashing. Probably just use those big shoulder parts. Do you think $400 for the Neo Zeong sealed worth it? I don't know. I don't remember what that kit goes for, just like as the list price. But $400, I mean, that's definitely high. I'm sure that's definitely over the list price of it. But I think the list price is around $300, so it's not. I mean, $100 more. But I would maybe wait. If you don't mind waiting a little bit. I'm sure that kit was supposed to get a rerun from Bandai in 2020 and it got delayed, so I'm sure probably in 2021, once Bandai starts to get caught up on their reprinting schedule, I'm sure that kit's going to get reprinted and you should be able to get it for less than that, is what I would say. So I would say wait. What do you think about the SMS paints for beginners? Jay Lynch, the SMS paints are great for beginners because you don't have to worry about thinning anything. They're already pre-thin, so I mean that makes them a little bit more convenient. But at the same time, eventually you need to you need to thin paints. You need to get used to thinning paints. So, I mean, don't use it as a crutch, but I mean they can be easy for beginners. Yeah, sure, and they're good quality paints. I mean, when I use them, they're nice. What's that? Hard do you, maybe, how do you, what, oh, I don't know. Do you think it would be, oh, maybe you mean, sorry, I'm just trying to read Josh's question here. I think you mean, how hard do you think it would be to turn the HGUC RX-78's origin into the RGM-79 origin? I'm not that familiar with that design. To, like, the gym origin? I'm not sure, but there's already Origin Gym kits, so I'm not sure about how different that is maybe than what you're talking about. So sorry, I'm not familiar with that enough to answer that. Will you be getting the Mark V from P Bandai Army Off Freaks? Yes, definitely. We'll be getting the Mark V, most definitely. Which Gundam would you pilot? The XS would be cool. Because, I mean, you have the whole Alice program to assist you. So, I mean, like, I wouldn't need to be, like, a super ace to enjoy just being cool in that mole suit, I guess, in that Gundam. How much is a reasonable amount to spend for your first airbrush kit? Paulo, for your first airbrush kit, my advice would be to... you don't have to get, like, the top-of-the-line products, but also don't get the bottom of the line products either. Don't get like the cheapest thing you can find. I mean, for an airbrush, even for your first airbrush, I would recommend spending maybe around 60, 80, maybe even up to 100. It just depends. If you see like painting Gunpla and stuff as something that you're really interested in and you're sure you're gonna want to do it for a long time, then I don't think it's too bad of an idea to spend a little bit more for a good airbrush. But you don't need, like I said, you don't need anything like over $100 is probably kind of not really needed for like your first airbrush. If you want to, get a nicer one, then by all means. But you shouldn't need to spend more than $100 for just a first airbrush at least. But then you also need like compressor, and like the same thing goes for that. I mean, a good, decent enough compressor shouldn't cost you more than $500 or more. Sorry, shouldn't cost you more than $100. So I mean, ultimately, just to get set up for your airbrush, compressor, some sort of spray booth, whether it be one that you buy or a DIY one, is what I would recommend. But and then just like a handful of paints to get you started. I mean, you're looking probably around $250 to get set up. And I know that sounds like a lot, but trust me, it's only expensive at first. After that, all you need is just paints after that, which are not that expensive and like are much cheaper in the long run to just get jars of paint for airbrushing compared to spray cans, which are much more expensive. A little jar of paint or something that's like $2, $3, $4 depending on the brand and where you are in the world, but you know, that will last you a lot longer than a can of spray paint, which is like $6, $7, $8. So it's definitely the way to go. Have you played the Gundam Battle Operation 2 on PlayStation? No, I have not. You're talking about like the new one. It's like a new game, right? No, I've not played any newer games other than just the mobile game. I would like to purchase an Ifrit Noct. Where should I go to get one for a good price that's not inflated price? Soundwave, that's the P-Vanda HG kit, Ifrit Noct. First of all, it's an excellent decision. I loved that kit. I got 2 of them. I mean, it's a P-Bandai kit, so you're going to be paying an inflated price one way or the other. But probably the best prices for that, I mean, I would look on AmiAmi or Mandarake, one of the secondhand sales sites from Japan. Would probably be the best bet. Dianjo, as always, thank you so much for the super chat there, my man. Good news, I got paid. Tragic news, I spilled plastic cement on my HGUC and Gabaldi last week. No, that sucks. Hopefully it's not something that a little sanding can't fix, but man, at the very least, you know, it's texture. Weathering texture. There you go. One way to look at it. Ven Builds, what's your opinion on the Gundam Age line? Love it or hate it? Most of the Age kits that I've built have been very good. The HG Age kits. And I haven't built any of the Master Grade kits yet. That's something on my to-do list probably next month. I've got the Age 1 and the Age 1 Spalo. Both the normal and the Spalo Master Grade kits I've got in my backlog. So I'll probably build those next month. I'm planning to. But yeah, I mean, as far as I've seen, everything I've seen about the FMG kits, those look great, and the HG kits, everyone that I built, they're very simple but very nice. Yeah. What's this? Someone said, sorry. Can we stop? Haywood said, can we stop commenting and let him build? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'll get back to building here in just a second. There's a lot of questions, so just trying to make sure I get to some of these. Should I hand paint if I don't paint a lot and don't want to spend the money on an airbrush? Alan, if you don't paint a lot and don't want to spend the money on an airbrush, I mean, yeah, hand painting is an option, or you know, spray can. If you're not painting a lot, then you know, like I was saying, that spray can is more expensive compared to airbrush. But if you're not painting that much, I mean, it's not. The price is not going to, you know, build up over time, you know, but still, like, to get a can of primer, at least, I mean, let's say you go like bare minimum, only 2 colors of paint, and then top coat, I mean, you're still looking at least $20 worth of stuff there. So Gundam Age series has a really solid design. Yeah, Dra-C, Nix over there on Twitch. Yeah, there's a lot of definitely solid designs in the Age series, and they made a ton of HG kits. So I mean, there's a lot of choices to choose from. They made a lot of HG Age kits. So yeah, there's a lot out there. Let's see. Orange Soka said, has there ever been a Gunpla kit that wasn't fun to handle or build in your opinion? Yeah, sure. The Tristan obviously was one that was not very fun. Also the Scramble Gundam. That's another one that I don't know if that's ever been reprinted. After when that kit first came out, I've just kind of never seen it around ever after that. I think it must have just bombed. I don't know. I could be wrong, but certainly seems like that. I don't think I was the only one that didn't really enjoy the Scramble Gundam. As corny as it may sound, I was so inspired when I saw the final result on your Messer. Paulo, not corny at all. I appreciate that, the sentiment. It's always nice to hear. Yeah. I really liked what I did with that Messer as well too. You know, I was very happy with that. I think, like I'm sure I probably mentioned in the video, it's about that build once I was showing you guys the completed build. You know, not like top of the line like GBWC quality work or even like any of my like objectively best work by any means, but I liked it a lot. Yeah, it was cool. Have you played the GBO2 game on PlayStation? No, I've not. It's mostly One Year War MS, trying to save for PS4 so I can play it. Yeah, The Rookie, no. Don't have a PS4, don't have any interest in getting a PS4. I mean, if we lived in a world where the day was not 24 hours and it was like 42 hours, then maybe I would be interested in getting a PS2, but I just have no time for that. Do you think you might ever do a Kamen Rider Figurized review, considering you did some Ultraman? No, I mean, if there was a design that I liked, then yeah. I mean, I'm not just gonna completely rule it out and say no, never. But even Ultraman, it's not something that I'm really interested in general. I just like some of those designs, and not even all of them. I didn't review all the Ultraman kits. I just reviewed the ones that were more appealing to me. So I mean, the same thing goes with Kamen Rider. If they ever came out with one that looked cool to me, oof. Almost lost that tiny little yellow piece. If they came out with one that I thought looked cool, then yeah, I'd be all for building it, but I don't really see that happening because, I mean, they have a, there's a very Kamen Rider aesthetic and it's just not really for me. But I probably would have thought the same thing about Ultraman until they did like the more recent kind of redesigns, the more recent series, and they're definitely very cool. I think it's so interesting that this is not Ultraman, but just going off on a side note, but Ultraman as well too, because there's isn't there? I'm just gonna now I'm gonna kind of second guessing myself. For Ultraman, there's a Kotobukiya version of the Ultraman kit as well too, right? So like there's multiple companies that make Ultraman kit designs. So there's the Kotobukiya version, there's Bandai's multiple ones as well too, and then there's that Chinese company, which I can't remember at the moment. I did the review in like the much larger scale. I did a review on that. I just can't remember the name of the company, but and then that is funny. And then also the Levitine, the Full Metal Panic Levitine. It's cool how there's the Bandai version, the Kotobukiya version, and the Aoshima version. All quite a little bit different. Alex Dedoof, what's going on, man? Lorenz, the artist for the Ultraman manga, also made a Kamen Rider manga, but Toei, I think, shut that down, so he made Ultraman. Oh, okay. There you go. What's going on this morning, Alex? What are you up to? Oh, that Polycap flew across the room. I'll have to go rescue that here in a minute. Why so much great kit that we want released on P Bandai? From a market point of view, they will make a great sale if they're released on regular. I mean, Aldi, yeah, we might think that, but I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I'm sure, Bandai has been doing what they've been doing for a long time, so I'm sure they have a better understanding than any of us about really the probable sales on any release. So like we may think, oh, that's a popular design, I'm sure that will sell well, but I'm sure, they're the experts on that. So if they came to the decision that they didn't think a particular design would sell all that well, then I kind of trust leaving that up to their judgment on that. But yeah, I mean, like I was saying before, it'd be nice if nothing was P Bandai, but still the thing you have to remember about P Bandai as well too is that it's a way for Bandai to make more and better stuff that we like. So I mean, Bandai makes more profit per kit off of sales of P Bandai stuff because they're just selling stuff directly from their own store. They don't have to sell the kit first to other shops at a discounted price and then the other shops sell it. Bandai makes more profit off of just P Bandai kits. So when they make P Bandai kits, it's usually for one of two reasons. It's to recoup the cost of a kit that maybe didn't sell very well. So like a master grade kit that they put out, that master grade kits take a lot of time and money, resources to develop them, and the master grade just kind of doesn't sell that well, so they need to kind of recoup some of that cost. They can do that by selling P Bandai kits, or they need to put more money and resources into development of something, so they they need to bring in some more cash flow to put that into a particular project, and so they can do that by selling P Bandai kits. So like for example, they just built a 1-to-1 scale walking Gundam. I'm sure probably cost quite a lot, so that could be one of the main reasons why, you know, Bandai's needed some more incoming revenue by doing more P Bandai stuff recently. People, you know, are saying everything's P Bandai these days. Well, Bandai has certainly a mighty need for a good amount of cash flow at the moment of doing stuff like that. And also they just developed a new perfect grades. I mean, like, development of this stuff is something that, you know, just costs money as well too. And you may think, well, they've been developing stuff for, you know, 20 years, let's say 20, 30 years before they ever started doing P Bandai stuff. That's true, but I mean, it was a smaller operation. You may think that like Bandai, you know, is producing the same amount of Gunpla in general as what they were doing at that time. I mean, like, not in like the amount of kits, but then the number of kits. Like, say for example, 30 Gunpla kits in a year. That's not right, but just for an example. And like in 1990 they were putting out 30 kits a year, and now in 2020 they're putting out 30 kits a year. That may be true, but there's also a lot more development that goes into modern kits, and also Bandai has a lot of other stuff that they make aside from just Gunpla as well too. So it's a much more spread out company in terms of the variety of different products that they make, not just Gunpla. So maybe if they stop making bad Fumine kits, they'd have less costs to recoup. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. I don't think that those kits probably, you know, do too well. I'm sure they do well enough because, you know, there would be a lot of Gunpla fans, you know, and Gundam fans that just want to build that, surely. But I mean, I'm sure it's nowhere near, they don't sell anywhere near as good as Kotobukiya's kits, I'm sure. Okay, let me get that polycap that flew away. Speaking of Kotobukiya, this arrived yesterday, which I'm super excited about. I don't know if you guys are or not, but I am. This is, what's the name of this line? The Sosai Shoujo Teien line of kits. They're kind of like Megami Device, sort of, basically, but they're like simpler construction, and they're just regular schoolgirls without any sort of like armor or weapons or anything like that. So it's, I think, really cool. I mean, you may be into that kind of thing or not, but the reason why I think it's really cool is the same reason why I love the Figurized Labo line from Bandai, is because it's basically for people who like enjoy the aesthetic of like resin GK figures, or even like not resin GK, but even like PVC figures, like the really expensive figures. PVC figures are really expensive, usually, like the really nice ones. Or you have like resin GK kits, which are also very expensive and can be hard to find, hard to obtain, and you have to. They take a lot of skill to do them well. With stuff like the Figurized Labo line or that new line of kits from Kotobukiya, you can have something that you can build yourself. It's a lot cheaper in comparison to other alternatives, and you can have something really nice from that you can just build for a much more affordable price. So I think that the line is great for that, for those type of fans. This polycap is a little off. There we go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to building that. We'll probably build that next week. I was thinking about building it today, but as much as I would like to, I have other stuff I need to work on today, so I'm trying to keep my priorities in check, but I really was tempted to build that today, later this afternoon. Clearly made as a base kit, so then you can stick cannons on it later. Yeah, I mean, Beck, yeah, I mean, you could definitely customize by adding some more kind of stuff with it. But yeah, I think it's a cool line. Whether it's the kind of thing you're into or not, you have to kind of appreciate what they're doing with the line. I think they're really onto something. I'm certain the line is going to be very successful. I mean, Kotobukiya really has for like the girl kits and stuff. Kotobukiya's really got a handle on that market. Do you know if and when the USA Gundam Store may list the latest Flame Toys Furui models? I'm not sure, Speedball but you can certainly ask Adam directly, or you can ask the question. We're having a live stream. Actually, I should remind you guys about that. The USA Gundam Store live stream is tonight. So if you're in the US, that'll be tomorrow morning for you. But later tonight, for me, is the live stream. I'll be live with Adam on the USA Gundam TV channel, and we're giving away a RG... P Bandai RG High New Heavy Weapon System, or RG New Heavy Weapon System kit, the kit that I just recently reviewed. We're giving away one of those, so definitely tune in. If you want to win, if you want to be entered to win that kit, what you have to do is leave a comment on one of the posts, on one of the social media posts. Just leave a comment with your question there. That's all you got to do, and then you're entered. So yeah, enter, and you don't have to live in the U.S. by the way too. It's open to anywhere in the world. So wherever you live, just to go there to either the USA Gundam Store Facebook page or Instagram page or the YouTube community tab for USA Gundam TV, and just leave a comment on there with your question, and you'll be entered to win. It's that easy. So yeah, definitely check that out. Here we are. These tubing bits kind of complicated. I'm just trying to see what I'm doing in the manual here. But yeah, that'll be tonight. We'll be live, and we'll give away that kit. In the last episode, we gave away a P Bandai MG Astray Red Frame Flight Unit. These names are too long. It's annoying to have to say these really long names of kits sometimes. Will USA Gundam Store be selling those Hobbyworks modeler cabinet and stuff that you use? The Hobby Zone stuff that I use over there on that desk? Yeah, we do sell that. I think we just haven't gotten any for a while. And I think Adam... actually, I should correct that. I think Adam did, if I remember correctly, he decided that we weren't going to get any more of the Hobby Zone stuff, and that we were just going to carry the RD Station stuff, I believe he said. Getting the V8 and Mercurius set, yes, definitely. Really looking forward to those coming out. Love those designs. Some people have been begging for a 2.0 of the MG Strike Freedom and Infinite Justice. I don't think that it's time yet. Both of them are still great kits. Standard, what do you think? I haven't built either of those, but I would side with you on that one. Android US. Yeah, I mean, I haven't built them, but I would say, yeah, probably not the most qualified candidates for getting a Master Grade 2.0. I mean, if they were to make one in the same style as the Master Grade Freedom 2.0, I mean, it would make sense, kind of, I guess, but you know, there's a lot of things that I think would be much better candidates for that. Surely. Okay. What's the scale and what's the scale and price range of that schoolgirl kit? I thought it'll look good paired up with a mech kit. Yeah, definitely. The scale is 1/12, so I think they're the same scale as the Megami Device stuff. So it should be very compatible with all the Megami Device stuff. That's good. And the price, I don't remember. But you know, like anything from Kotobuki, it's not that cheap, unfortunately. But I think around $40 or $50, I want to say, maybe for that. Yeah. I can check here. Hang on. It's on the box. Yeah. 5,400 yen. So yeah, about $50, unfortunately. Yeah, a little bit pricey, but what can you do? It's kind of the nature of those Kotobuki kits, unfortunately. What do you think is the best Kampfer kits? I wanted to get the MG, but worried about the age. The MG I don't think is that bad for its age, to be honest. But and the HG I'm just now building for the first time, so couldn't really say. But at the moment, I mean, it seems pretty good. Ooh, yeah. I put that on there and I thought, looks like there's probably supposed to be a polycap there. And there was. I missed it. Fortunately, it's easy to take off. PC1. Exia needs a 2.0, hopefully after the Virtue. I've heard that. I've also not ever built the original Exia, but that's another one though not sure I would agree that it really needs a 2.0. Basically the only complaint I've ever heard people make about the MG Exia is that it has weak ankles, and that seems like it's a kind of small point to base the idea that it needs a 2.0 off of, just because it's got one kind of small weak point to the kit. When the kit otherwise in general, as far as I can tell, looks kind of perfectly fine. Let's see. Oh, I thought we were gonna need a polycap in this section as well too, but apparently not. That's it. Because this section for the waist is here. MG Zaku 1 needs a 2.0. Yes, I would agree with that. MG Zaku 1, they should make a 2.0 of, since the DOM is having a 1.5 treatment. Yeah, whether they make like a 1.5 or like a full-on 2.0 of the Zaku 1, I would definitely agree with that. Because the Zaku 2 2.0 has been out for a while. A long while. It's been out for like 10 years now. They should also, yes, make one. Okay, let's see. So that's the back. Saucy Pancho, what's up? Let's see. MG Goof Custom 2.0. Yes, I would love that as well too, because I do love the Goof Custom. But I mean, yeah, you know, sorry to say, but I think if they do ever make a Goof Custom 2.0, it's very likely, very possible that it's going to be a P-Bandai kit based off of the MG Goof 2.0. You know, hate to be the bearer of P-Bandai bad news, but I think, you know, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's the direction they went with that, unfortunately. There we go. I mean, so far, I mean, like, it's missing a lot of color separation that I think the MG kit definitely has better color separation, but it looks good anyway, so far. Do you prefer HG kits over RG kits? Crazy on Twitch. Yeah, I would say in general I do. I mean, there's some really great RG kits out there, but give me a good HG kit any day. I'll be happy. Being on that 00 diver ace in MG. That could be kind of cool. Speaking of the girl kits, which one would you recommend to a person who would like to try building them? Yes, that's a good question. I would recommend probably one of the Megamind device kits over frame arms, but I mean, depends on what you want. If you still want a little bit more mecha and not quite so much focus on the Musume aspect, then maybe frame arms girl would be better. Like the Griffin is a fantastic one, or the Baihu is another really great one as well too. Those are some really nice ones that are still very mecha and like not too much focused on the girl aspect of the kit, if that's something you're worried about. But really, really kind of any of them. I've done reviews on a bunch of them, obviously, so I mean, you can just check out some of my reviews. I would say just go for a design that you like. In general, they're all pretty good. So, you know, if there's a particular design of one that you like more than others, I would say go for that. Some of them can be harder to find. Like, for example, the Aikawa, that one that I reviewed. Yeah, the Aikawa one, I'm sure probably very difficult to find at this point, I would imagine. So you might not be able to find one for any reasonable price. But any of like kind of the more standard ones, you should be able to get your hands on. If I can't find the Asura Archer Aoi version, do you think the normal version is still just as good? Yeah, I mean, definitely. Mostly it's just a color swap. There's a couple of different pieces that you get with the Aoi version. I think like hair and the leg pieces that you don't get with the original version. But if you can't find the Aoi version, I wouldn't recommend like really overpaying for that. Because I mean, like, you might be able to find one if it's like $30, $40, $50 more than the regular version. I wouldn't recommend that unless you really, really want it. because it's not that different. It's mostly just colors. And the alloy versions, I mean, they are really nicely colored, but if it's that big of a difference, then maybe not. PC 2. Let's see. That one there. What's with that? You're talking about getting some kits with sub arms or something? Alright, let's see. This one here. You think we will get a Sword Calamity P Bandai of the 100 Calamity kit? That's possible. Yeah. I don't know. It's very, very possible. Yes. You know, probable. I'm not sure, but maybe it might be. Good question. I hadn't really thought about that actually. I think probably that will depend a lot on how good the sales do for the Calamity Gundam. So if you want a Sword Calamity kit, then make sure you buy the regular Calamity kit, because I think whether they make the sword or not is probably likely that they will base that decision off of how well the sales do of the regular kit. If they see there's a lot of interest in the Gundam in general, then they'd be more inclined to make a variant of it. And Jerry, thank you as always for the super chat there. Or Ian Henry, sorry, I wasn't thinking Jerry. Ian, have you heard of the Gundam Artifact mini models? And if so, do you plan on getting them? Those are the ones that are like meant to look like tiny little resin kits, right? Ian, is that right? That's the ones you're talking about, I believe so, right? They're little plastic kits, but they're meant to look like little resin kits. You know, when those were first announced, I did put in a pre-order for them. Whoa. PC3. What? Oh, shit, it's the wrong polycap. I did put a pre-order in for them right away, but then I later canceled my pre-order just because, I don't know, they just got seam lines all over the place, and they're really tiny, so I mean, like, painting all the details in them, because some of those designs are like really have a lot of like color apps and stuff, like the XS, or for example, I just can't imagine that's gonna be fun to actually paint that kit. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool concept, and like they look very nicely detailed. But I mean, just yeah, tons of work gonna be required for those. And like honestly, if I'm gonna do that much work to make like an XS Gundam, I'd rather just like work on the master grade or something, to be honest. I feel like it would be like a better use of time and effort. Shit. For a kit like that. You know what I mean? That makes sense? Do you agree? I think it's a cool concept, but just not worth it if you actually plan on painting them. If you plan on just building it up and just keeping it as it is, then yeah. But if you were actually planning to paint it, just seems like you're better off just making something larger, because they're small and like no color separation on them at all. So you're just looking at tons of masking or hand painting. I hope the Figure Eyes standard line comes out with Gundam pilot models. Yeah, that'd be cool. I prefer some Gundam pilots, some more Gundam pilots in the Figure Eyes Labo line myself. So not really interested in like having them like to be able to pose them and stuff. So just some fixed pose statue figures that you can build, like the Labo kits, would be better for me. I want to know your opinion about Advances Zeta HG line. I like it. That's my opinion on that. The P Bandai kits, the non-P Bandai kits, they're all pretty cool. Even the non-P Bandai Advances Zeta kits, you know, are much older now at this point. But I think they still hold up pretty well. They're still really nicely detailed. They got a few seam lines on there, and then those two as well have a lot of little color apps and things you'll have to paint to get them totally color accurate, but I still think they're pretty solid kits despite their age, and they're quite cheap as well too. Like just the non-P Bandai HGUC kits, the different versions of the Hazel anyway. The Haru can be a little bit more expensive, but it's like the Hazel 2, Advanced Hazel. Come on, why did this not get in there? Come on. What's the point of having this as a polycap that will turn like that? Trying to put this in is just making the polycap rotate, and I have to like, there we go. Keep trying to work it till I can get it in there. Damn, it's annoying. But now that that's done, what's your favorite song from any of the Gundam series? You mean like opening song? I don't know if I really necessarily have one. I just the music in general. I love the music of Gundam Unicorn. I think it's got probably the best music in it. As far as like an opening tile song, god damn. This polycap too. Not enjoying some of these trickier polycaps. As far as like opening themes go, I mean, you gotta love the G Gundam theme song as well too. That's a classic. Turn A, what's it? Double Zeta, I think also has a really funny one. Pretty cool. Yeah. I do think we'll ever see any updated HG Gundam Wing EW kits anytime. I would say probably not anytime soon, because of the fact they're making like new HGs of the TV versions as of late, with the Sandrock and the Heavy Arms, and now the Death Scythe coming out, and then we can assume that the Shenlong will be coming out after that. Then I don't think they would go right from making those and then also make new HD versions of the Endless Waltz suits as well. I think probably not, but maybe someday in the future, but probably not anytime soon, I would imagine. Not right away. Big O theme, yeah, that's a good one. What are you doing for a living, 100% YouTuber or not? No, it's working for USA Gundam Store. I'm an employee of USA Gundam Store and YouTube, and doing YouTube as well. But I mean, like, that's just part of that. Not doing any other than this. I'm not doing anything else. Like, I was a teacher before, but I'm not teaching anymore. Gotta agree, those Advanced Zeta HG kits are dope. I picked up the Hazel Custom and the Gaplan Hararu from USA Gundam Store a while back using the Zaku code. Well, thank you for supporting our store. And yeah, they're cool kits. Ian said, I just got the 2020 Orazaku Hobby Japan magazine. It's absolutely worth getting. The winning Kshatriya build is pure excellence. Yeah, Ian, I've got that here as well too, up here, and it's on my to-do list. Actually, you mean the 2021 issue. I've actually got the 2020 issue here, which is the Orazaku issue that I need to review as well too, especially because this is the plan that I'm gonna be basing for my perfect grade. I'm planning on basing it off this build. But yeah, I've got the 2021 issue here as well also. Basically, don't really like to buy these hobby magazines in general because, as I've talked about before, like the whole like back half of the manual is all just ads for new products and stuff coming out. Back half of the magazine, I should say. It's only like the first third of the manual is really very interesting to me usually. I keep saying manual, magazine. But yeah, the Orizaku issues, which is always Hobby Japan, the January issue is always the Orizaku issue, which if you guys don't know, Orizaku is basically like, it's like JBWC, but it's only for Japan. And it's super high quality builds that go into it. Orizaku is almost kind of like, the quality of the stuff that you see in Orizaku is almost kind of better than GBWC in a way. Sometimes it's like less diorama stuff, and GBWC, like especially the winners of GBWC, you usually see a lot more kind of diorama stuff mostly. And Orizaku is usually, it's just the kit. So I mean, you see a lot of really amazing stuff from here. And the great thing about these issues is they show like all the entries. So I mean, this one says doesn't say on the cover how many entries. I know, I was just looking at this the other day. This one from 2020, it says that they have 1,388 entries that are covered in here. So I mean, like only the first few, only like the top ones, you have like multiple pictures of. The rest of them, it's like this. It's like one photo each. But I mean, how cool is that still? I mean, to have, even though it's a tiny little photo, to have it published in the magazine is still pretty awesome. So, for 2021, this issue, yeah, I'm sure there's an equal or more amount of entries for this. So there's a lot of stuff. I mean, you could spend like hours just like looking at all these. And they got their names and ages and everything here too. So I mean, so you can see, if you were like to search on Twitter or something like that, I'm sure most of the people on here probably have Twitter accounts. So you could find some stuff. Like, I don't know how well you guys can see. Maybe if I try to get this so there's not a glare, you can see this like crab Zigok down here at the bottom. It's a Zigok kit all like molded up like a crab. Pretty amazing. So I mean, and this is one of like the non-winner kits. If we go to some of the winners, and they get cash prizes as well too, instead of like just trophies. So like this one, for example, here is the Perfect Gundam. What was this? What was that? I think this is what, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think like he made this model to look like it was on the runners, which is quite interesting. So like it looks like it's an unbuilt kit, but it's actually all completely like made like that on purpose. Like for example here, this is one of the SD winners, got 100,000 yen, so $1,000 basically. This one as well too is one of the runners up, 100,000 yen. The Kshatriya winner, I think they get 300,000. So it's like close to, yeah, it's close to $3,000. That's what they get for their prize money. And it tells you like their points in here as well too. So this is the winner with the 96 points. So yeah, anyway, I wonder, did they, for all the other ones, do they show how many points? No, they don't. I think they only show the actual point numbers for like just the top ones. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I need to make a couple of reviews on those magazines as well too in the future. It's on my to-do list. 8 and 3. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, in a way, it is a kind of more advanced competition than GBWC, kind of in a way. And like I said, you see like a lot of like the really like top modelers in Japan. They don't enter GBWC; they enter Orizaku instead. Maybe it's because they want the cash prize rather than they're not interested in just a trophy. That could be the reason. But yeah, I think it's just that like for Japan, for like Japanese modelers, I think like winning Orizaku has like a much like, I mean, I'm sure it's not completely, but it definitely has like just as much, if not more, clout, I guess. Which Gundam timeline do you think would you like to see have an MG Verka series? So I mean, like you're talking about like other than like Gundam, other than UC timeline. Which one would I like to see? If it was anything other than UC, I mean, MG Verka. I don't know. What would be good as an MG Verka non-UC? I mean, just trying to think of like the series that I like. I love G Gundam, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I would love like new MGs from G Gundam, but I don't know if I necessarily want them to be like a Verka. Just like a 2.0 God Gundam would be nice. Doesn't necessarily have to be a Verka. I'm sure a Verka God Gundam would be cool. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. Think they will ever do a PG kit from Gundam Wing? Well, I mean, they're aside from the PG Wing Gundam that already exists, I imagine you mean? This is odd. I think I've got the wrong thruster bell here, or where's, there it is. That's the one I'm looking for. If they'll ever do another PG kit from the Wing series, I kind of doubt it, but I mean, you never know. You see 2, and what about for that one? You see 8. Where is that? Here. What bogus designs from G Gundam that you want to see made into kits? Yeah. So you're talking about there's like some of the more goofy ones, like the Mermaid one and the Tequila Gundam and the Nether Gundam, for example. Yeah. The Cobra Gundam could be pretty cool as a kit, I think. That'd be pretty fun. Pretty interesting to see how they would tackle that. What else? I'm just trying to think of like which kits like that I think would actually make like cool kits, not just like as a joke. Like as a Tequila Gundam, I think a lot of people kind of bring that one up, but in just like a kind of a joking way. But I'm trying to think like actually what I think would, it's a goofy design, but I think would make for a kind of cool kit. Yeah, I don't know, like the Cobra Gundam would be a lot of fun, I think. See, like the windmill would be funny, like just as like funny to build, but I don't know if I would really like actually enjoy that once it's built. Like I'd be okay, well, that's after you get over like the joke aspect of it, what's left at that point? It's not really a very cool design in all honesty. Check your Zaku Gunner Warrior's shoulder joint. Maybe they have a white mark already. Okay, well I just, it's one of the reviews that I've got coming up for you guys. Actually, I already have it recorded and we'll probably post it this weekend. Is the review of the new Blaze Zaku Phantom, Blaze Zaku Warrior kit. Just built that up earlier this week. And yeah, already got that review recorded, so I just need to finish editing that. That's like kind of up next in my review list. So yeah, we'll have that P Bandai MG kit review out for you guys very soon. Speaking of Zaku Warriors anyway. There we go. There's our Kampfer coming along. Very cool, definitely. I would like them to try to make a Jester Gundam kit. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, one of like the one of the old Shuffle Alliance designs would be kind of cool. I'd like to see more MG IBO kits, not necessarily Verka, but I think it would be reimagining. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It would be cool, and I'm sure we will see more master grade IBO kits. I'm sure it's just a matter of time. You know, how many more? I don't know. Maybe not that many, but I'm sure we'll at least get a couple more. And which ones they make? Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure, you know, probably at the top of the list would probably be like the Gushan Rebake, the Bale, the Floros would probably be ones that would be more likely than others, I guess. I would love if they would make an MG Grays. That'd be awesome. And they got lots of variations of that they can make, of course, too. The Dagorla from Victory Gundam would make for an interesting large-scale HG. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool, like, very odd stuff from Victory that I think would make for cool kits. It's the same kind of thing where, like, not exactly kits that are designs that I like, but I think they would be interesting to build. Boomkin and the Vidar. Yeah, the Vidar probably also a good option. I would like that. That's one of the ones that like I would prefer. I would prefer the Vidar over something like the Gushan Rebake, to be honest. So yeah, hopefully. Definitely agree with the Grays. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people who would love that. Astaroth Origin MG. Per year, yeah. Astaroth Origin probably not as high on the list of likely candidates. MG Astaroth, yeah, because it's a side story, it wasn't actually in the anime. It's probably less likely to actually get a kit. But who knows? You never know. Maybe as a P Bandai, but you know, no one will be happy about that either. All right, let's see here. This one goes like that. And into the arm there. Recommend first MG to get Mike Wazowski. Man, just kind of really anything. Just check out, you know, some different MG kits, just whatever design you like. Check out some reviews. You know, if there's a design that you really particularly like, and then you check out a couple of different reviews online, and you see like it's getting a lot of kind of not so good reviews, then you know, maybe wait and don't get that one straight away for your first one. But you know, as long as the reviews are decent, and most MG kits are perfectly decently fine, then I'd say just kind of go for whatever, man. Don't sweat it too much. If it's a design you like, then go for it. Any good HG grunt kits? Yeah, there's loads. Probably whenever that IBO mobile game ever gets released, we would see more IBO kits, possibly. Yeah. Speedball Haros, go for the MG Mark V. If for your first MG kit, maybe not the MG Mark V. I mean, just with it being a more expensive P Bandai kit. I mean, yeah, but I mean the same thing goes. If you like the design, then yeah, go for it. But it's not necessarily going to be any more complicated or difficult than any other kits, though. It's just that, I don't know. Pretty big, expensive P Bandai kit for your first one. I don't know if I would maybe recommend that, but at the same time, you know, why not? So I don't know. You're welcome. Maybe not the most helpful answer, I'm sure, but really is as simple as that, I would say. Just be careful when you move the shoulder upwards. I broke them. Oh, broke them on this kit? When you move the shoulder upwards, I broke them trying to move the shoulder to hold the gun wizard. Oh, you were talking about for the MG Zaka Warrior. Yeah, I've not experienced any issues with the two other ones that I've built already. But I'll keep an eye out, I guess. Where's that piece? That's D. Where is it? Where is it? I'm sure I remember cutting that piece out. Oh. Why did I put it with the weapons parts? Silly. Do you plan on getting the RG Hainu? Yeah, definitely. It looks cool. Man. Guys, quit reminding me all the kits I have to build. There's not enough time in the day. All these cool kits coming out and stuff to build. Like I was mentioning earlier, I just got a big massive kits to build here at the moment, so I'm already sleeping like as little as possible. I can't sleep any less. I need to have less things to build, but you know, try not to complain about that too much, because certainly not a problem worth complaining about, but just wish we had more hours in a day. I'm sure you could all agree. A person who always eludes me in the Gunpla community is Dalong, such a mystery. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, even here in Korea, I would imagine he's not really, like, no one really knows who he is as far as I know. I mean, yeah, it's a great resource website, definitely. I use it all the time. Surely. Yeah, even here in Korea, I don't know if people really know him. Not that I know of. I have built a total of 118 kits since Halloween. Well, there you go. That's good. Giveaway maybe Zach instead of build it. No, I can't do that. I've got to at least build it and review it first. You know, after that point, if I want to give it away, you know, that's at least an option. But I've got to at least build the kits. That's kind of my job, right? Literally. But yeah, I mean, like, at least I'm not also having to worry about having to paint everything. If I had to paint everything, man, I would definitely die. But let's see. Do you see Bandai making any more Moon Gundam kits anytime soon? Mulambo? I don't. As Moon's kind of up there, like same thing with Twilight Axis. I think they made a couple of kits, and that's probably going to be about all we're going to get out of that series, I would imagine. Unless they were to someday make like a Master Grade Moon Gundam, I could see that possibly happening, because I think the HG kit was quite popular. And even though it's not from like a mainline series, I think probably it's popular enough that they could make it as an MG kit. I wouldn't bet on it, but I could see that possibly happening. But I mean, any other more HG kits or something, I would say probably not. Do you think Bandai would reuse RG Wing Gundam frame for other Wing RG kits? Yeah, it's totally possible. I don't know, you know, if or when they're ever gonna make more RG Wing kits of like Death Scythe or something like that. For example, I think probably would be the next up candidate after the Wing. That's like one of the more popular designs. Probably would be the Death Scythe. I don't know if or when they're ever going to actually do that, but yeah, it's totally possible. They could. Surely. They will. You know, probably will maybe at some point. MGG self keeps getting further and further away. Yeah, the G self as well. I mean, it won the poll, so a lot of people got kind of excited about that, but, you know, unfortunately, those polls aren't binding. And Bandai doesn't always stick to them, to what people vote on for what they want. That said, I mean, I think I would bet that development on an MG G-Self probably has started in some way. It maybe is not very far along in the process necessarily, but I would imagine there is probably at least the beginning stage plans for an MG G-Self somewhere at Bandai. And you know, that will probably happen at some point, or it might just, like, you know, it might just end up staying shelved for years and years until they ever decide to come back to that, and then they'll probably start from scratch on that. But we see that happening from Bandai sometimes, unfortunately, that they have plans for kits, and sometimes they even show off prototypes, and they just never actually end up coming out. So it does happen. And certainly could be the case with the G-Self as well too. We shall see. Dra-C, Kampfer, Goof, and Goof Custom. Anything else to build a blue Xeon mini army? Blue Xeon. I feel like there's something else I'm trying to think of. The Z Zulu? It's a Neo Xeon. Z Zulu is also blue. The Kapul? I think there's another one, I'm sure it's right. The Zuda? Yeah, Zuda, yeah. It's light blue. But, you know, not too far off from the Goof Custom. Zegok Standard type? Yeah. There's that one too, right? Hygog, that's what I knew there was one I was thinking of. It was right there. I'm like, Hygog, yeah, definitely, right there. Yakadoga count as blue? Maybe not. But there's the blue, the Resin Snyder version of the Gyaradoga. Yeah, the Gyaradoga. The Gyan, yeah, also blue. So yeah, plenty of blue Xeon suits, I guess, there aren't there. Certainly. This one, my son kept telling me that he wants this kit. My son just recently, this past weekend, built his first ever Gundam kit. Very proud of him. And he built the SDX Standard RX-78's 2 kit. We were at the Gundam base. If you guys saw on my Instagram, I posted that I had been to the Gundam base and I picked up a bunch of the system weapons kits from the Gundam base. And while we were there, because kind of more recently my son has been showing a little bit more interest in like possibly making a Gundam kit. So while we were there at the Gundam base, actually our reason for going there actually was for him. I wasn't planning to go there to buy anything for myself. It just so happened that while we were there I remembered, oh yeah, they have system weapon stuff here, so I wanted to get a bunch of that. But the whole reason for going there actually was I wanted to let my son try picking out a kit if he wanted to. So I asked him, I said, do you want a Gundam kit? Do you want to make a Gundam like that? And he said, yeah. So at first I was recommending him to get one of the Pokeplot kits to build, but no, he wanted to get a Gundam instead. So I let him choose among the SDX standard kits I thought would be good for him. You know, pretty simple. And he's only 5, so I mean, kind of keep it pretty simple. He's not ready for even like a simple HG or anything yet, not yet. But yeah, he actually, to my surprise, he picked out the Granddaddy, the RX-78 too. I was expecting him to go for like something with a little bit more blue in it. He likes blue, so maybe like the Exia or something that had a lot more blue on it. But for whatever reason, fate, maybe he picked out that, and so he built that up. But yeah, so he's my point is he's been seeing more recently. He's kind of paying more attention to like the kits that he sees me with, and he'd seen that I had this kit out because I had taken it out of off the shelf, out the backlog, and I was bringing it here to the office. He had seen it, and he asked if he could have it. I said, well, I had to make it first, but you know, after that, because it's blue. So he really wanted this Kampfer. Well, probably, at least the good thing about this is it'll stay together a lot better than the SDX standard. I feel kind of sorry because the kit just falls apart when you just touch it. It's just a terrible kit. But you know, I had to get him to build something simple because that's about all that he can build at the moment. But do feel a bit sorry that the kit doesn't stay together very well. I know this is 2 kits, one the pole, but we'll be reviewing other kits of the Gogu. Yeah, Polo. The Gogu Jaeger and the Dom Chopin are already built, and the Isaac, they're all already built, and I'll be reviewing all of them. It's just these are just only 2. I don't have time to build all of them live. I just built those over on their own. But yeah, I'll be reviewing all of them, no doubt. Hang on. Let's see. Have some stickers on here. Also, something else I was thinking I was going to show you guys, but maybe not. Do you think he would like the entry grade RX? Yeah, possibly. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe for next time, maybe getting him the entry grade Gundam. I think he could probably handle building that one as well too. The nice thing about the SD extender kits and like most SD kits in general, this is the case too. But like the nice thing about that is that you also don't need any tools. You don't need nippers or anything for that. You can just pop everything just right off the runner. And the entry grade also it's also the case for the entry grade as well too. So that's good because don't know if he's really ready to even use nippers. Yeah, it would still be a little bit worried he'll clip his finger or something like that, because I've even done that a couple times. Just cutting all the parts off really fast and accidentally clip my finger a little bit. It does happen. Where does this white stripe go? That goes on the shoulder, doesn't it? Right? I just want to check, make sure. Right? Yeah. Thought so. There we go. I've never really thought about this about the Kampfer, but the white stripe on the head and on the shoulder, I guess, is meant to be sort of like a rank marking in a way. Is it not? Is it? Never really thought about that. I mean, I just thought of it as just like a white accent color of the design, but like now that I'm thinking about it, it does kind of seem like it's sort of like a rank indication, doesn't it? Have you ever built either of the MG Musha Gundam? They look cool AF. Yeah, Mike Wazowski, they do look cool. I've not ever built either of them, but I mean, as far as I know, they're both pretty solid kits. They're based off of the 2.0 Gundam Mark II, I believe, right? So they should be pretty good, pretty solid. If he likes blue, then maybe get the entry grade Doraemon kits. I thought about that as well too. I actually showed him that kit while we were there at the Gundam base, and he was not interested, so I don't know. Do you think Bandai will do more designs for the entry grade line? Yes, but I mean, they do entry grade kits in more than just Gunpla, right? They have like the entry grade, what's that, Demon Slayer, is that right? Kit? I don't know the other one. And then there's like an entry grade Kamen Rider kit as well too. And the Pokemon kits are not technically entry grade. I don't know why they didn't call them entry grade as well too. They're the Pokepla Quick kits, like the Mew that I reviewed. I don't know why they didn't call that entry grade Pokepla, but essentially the same thing, same idea. As far as any other entry grade Gundam kits, like an entry grade Zaku or something, probably, I mean, I don't see it happening, but I think they very easily could make an entry grade Zaku too. Would be really cool. I mean, I hope they do. That'd be awesome. I'd love it, but I don't know if they will or not. We'll have to see. You know, fingers crossed. All right, so the body and everything's done. Now let's just get started on the weapons, and there's no shortage of those. So let's get into it here with our projectile based weapons here first, our ranged weapons. Alright, so for the bazookas, just slap the two halves together. Like that, the handle. Just go ahead and clip right onto there. And this camera part, also pretty simple. Goes like that, and then just right into the side there like that. Bing, bang, boom. Easy peasy. Let's see. The other day I made a purchase on USA Gundam Store for the first time. Use your promo code. It's so excited. Tony, thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it. Just for supporting the store. And good to hear. Hopefully you got something cool. But I mean, I'm sure if it's Gunpla, it's surely going to be something cool. But that's good. Any Norma Jean fans out there? Just curious. I wonder, like, if in the review, if I make a shotgun message reference, I don't know if anyone will get it. So maybe don't bother. But if I know there's any, like, especially old school Norma Jean fans out there, maybe I will. So there you go, pretty easy shotguns, and you have the other handle options for that and this connection piece for that. You only have the one connection piece, interestingly enough, for plugging the shotgun. Let's see, where's that? Where is that? There it is. Yeah, for plugging the shotgun onto the back skirt, you only have the one connection piece for plugging on just one shotgun. But I guess it only has the one shotgun. But for whatever reason, we get two in the box. So you have an extra one, which is cool, because then you can use it with a different kit. But the hand for holding that is probably pretty unique, because it is a very unique handle. So it probably wouldn't work in most other hands, unfortunately. Big Redeemer fan, Mike Stell. Yeah, Redeemer was also good. I've kind of quite enjoyed pretty much everything. I don't know, actually, I don't even know if they've come out with any albums recently, but like, I've listened to and quite enjoyed some of the later albums. I mean, I was a big fan at the start, like very early Norma Jean, from way back in the day, bless the martyr. Yeah, a little later albums, Anti-Mother, Redeemer, and those were also quite good as well too. I mean, I enjoy them. Some bands, you know, kind of fell off a little bit with their later albums, but I quite enjoyed the later work as well from Norma Jean too. It's good. They stayed pretty good. I'm just trying to think of like what's an example of a band that I thought the later albums were not so good. Well, Chiodos, for example, is one. Man, phew. Man, like the early Chiodos was a lot of fun, and then even Illuminaudio, I enjoyed. I mean, I don't know if I might be in the minority on that. I don't know how other people took it, but I quite enjoyed it. But then when I forget the singer's name, but when the original singer came back to the band, I didn't really like it. It was not good. Usually, if you think like, oh, the original vocalist is coming back, like that would be a good thing, but it was not good. I didn't like it at all. Dredge, I love Dredge, but on their last album, I don't really like it. It's weird. I can't get into it. Yeah, I don't know why. They went very different with that album, and not in a good way, I don't think. What's even the name of the album is weird. I forget what it's called. Mr. Fuzzy or something like that, and something. Yeah, Craig Owens, that's the guy's name. Yeah, Craig Owens was great on the first couple albums. Yeah, then when he came back, it was like he was still doing the vocals and everything. Like the writing was bad. Like the vocal like performance was pretty good, I think, but like the lyrics were all still like the same kind of. A little bit kind of very childish lyrics, kind of very immature lyrics of like the first couple albums, which I think worked for like the first couple albums because like especially during the time when they came out, yeah, Bone Palace and All's Well That Ends Well, yeah. The lyrics and like his singing, his vocals worked really well for those albums, but then when he came back and like tried to do the same thing for the later album, it's like, yeah, it's kind of not really cool anymore. I don't know. I didn't like it. And I've tried to listen to it. I still have it on my phone, so like it still comes up every now and then. A song will come up in shuffle, and I try to give it a chance. Because, you know, sometimes that's happened lots of times where it's a newer album from a band, and like I just don't really like it at first, but then it grows on me. I've tried, but it's not happening with that album. So, unfortunately. Let's see. Okay. Now I basically just have the chain mine here, and I'm just wondering about how you're really meant to go about this. Because how do you do the spacing of these? Do you listen to Periphery? No, Lorenz, the name, I'm not familiar with that band. Ever got into Earth Crisis? No, Earth Crisis is, at least I'm familiar with the name. I'm not familiar with the music though. I don't think I ever listened to it. I already asked this on the USA Gundam Store post about the giveaway, but I figured I'd ask you anyway. Do you know when the USA Gundam Store will get their Sazabi back order? No, yeah, I don't know. That's something Adam will have to answer for you. I don't know about that. Sorry. So, let's see. So we're supposed to have... So yeah, I just don't know how you're meant to evenly place these. So we'll put the one on the end. So we do the end ones, I guess, first. And there should be one of these... I think this is the end one because it doesn't go all the way through there. And then as for the rest, yeah, I don't know. Is there any good way to space these? I'm looking at the manual. I'm not really seeing any hint as to how you're really meant to do that. I guess you can kind of slide them along there, I suppose. Let's see. Do I like Radiohead? I've not ever really. I mean, I know Radiohead's, you know, like one of those bands everyone's kind of supposed to like, but I've just never really gotten into it. I've tried, but not really ever gotten a liking for Radiohead. Pull out the ruler. I can't be bothered to do that. Any idea why they never did even an HD Thunderbolt Gun Cannon Aqua? I don't know. There's a lot of cool designs from Gundam Thunderbolt they didn't make, so you know, hopefully they will get back to making some more Thunderbolt kits in the future. I had to try to also place these so that they're all lined up the same way. think, yeah, once they're on there, you can just kind of slide them along to adjust the positioning on them. So, all right, just kind of go for it, I guess. Zigog E from Thunderbolt looks cool. MG opinion on the MG Mark V, is it possible they will release something regular on that frame? Aldi. Yeah. Level 32 Human asking, how's your day been? I appreciate you asking that. Level 32 Human, my day's been pretty good so far. Just building a couple of kits, hanging out with you guys. Yeah, I've seen a lot of talk, and I think I talked about this as well too already in probably previous live streams, then also I think in the news video, talking about this kit. And I've seen a lot of people online also talking about this possibility about, with the Mark V coming out, if they're going to make a Dovin Wolf or a Silver Bullet kit. And I think, yes, the fact that they're making the Mark V, I mean, is one step closer to a Dovin Wolf or Silver Bullet kit, but I don't think that necessarily guarantees it, because if you look at the designs, I mean, look at it closely, there's not much of the Mark V that could be reused for the Dovin Wolf. Almost none of the armor, maybe a little bit of the armor around the torso section, around like the stomach section. But like, while a lot of it is similar, most of it's not that similar. Not close enough that they'd be able to use the same parts. So like, it would have to be almost an entirely new kit. So I don't think it's necessarily guaranteed by any means. But like I said, it's more likely now, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Just because we're getting the Mark V does not mean we're going to be getting a Silver Bullet anytime soon. I think I need to count these. So we got the 4 open ones, as you're supposed to have 4 open ones and 8 unopened ones. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you do need to use all of them. Oops, and I put a couple of those on backwards. Oops. See, that one's right. 3 of them are backwards, dang. Turn that around. Just so on the bottom it doesn't matter. On the top, there is a way to them facing one way or the other. I'm looking at getting RG. Okay, if you guys hang on just a second. Well, I want to talk some more about that Silver Bullet, the whole Mark V Silver Bullet Dovin Wolf thing. So yeah, you're kind of just left to sort it out on your own to try to get these evenly placed on here. I kind of wish they would have given like some kind of measurement for that, but it seems like roughly about 1 centimeter in between. Yeah, I mean, there's like a little note there in Japanese in the manual, and without translating it, I'm just looking at that. As far as I can tell, I don't think that it's talking about the placement of these, but generally it looks like it's about 1 centimeter between them, like that. That works out to be about right. So there you have it. I tried listening to Twice. Yeah, actually, man, talk about. I need the Obi-Wan Kenobi. I need that Obi-Wan Kenobi meme. That's a name I've not heard in a long time. Yes, I have listened to Twice ages ago. I think just the one album, I believe, whatever it was. I don't even remember what it was called, but yeah, I haven't listened to that in forever. But I should check that out. I'm gonna actually, now that you mentioned, I'm gonna pull that up because I do want to listen to that. I've not listened to it in so long. I'm gonna pull that up so I can listen to it later, so I don't forget. Twice. Oh no! Sorry, I'm confused. I was thinking of Thrice. You're talking about Twice. You're talking about You're talking about the Korean singers. Yeah, no, not interested at all. I know. I don't like Korean pop. You're talking about Twice Korean. I was thinking of Thrice. Thrice is the band that I was thinking of. Yeah. Album. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, if you're talking about Thrice, then yeah, I mean I used to listen to it. I haven't listened to it in a long time. So close on that Twice. No, Azure Slime King. Yeah, I think you were asking me before about K-pop, right? No, I'm still not into K-pop at all. But let me go ahead and just pull something up here real quick. Hang on, bear with me. MG Mark 5. Just want to see. Just pull up a couple of pictures here for us. Oh, no. What's that? That's not gonna work. There we go. Get a new tab. Yeah, it's still not there. Just bear with me for a moment. I'm just pulling up some images here for us to just take a look at. If you're only here to hang out for the live build, I'm done with that, so I'll see you guys later. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the whole silver bullet thing. Yeah, maybe this one here. It's easy to say, but I think very better for me to actually demonstrate this with you guys if I can. Yeah, this will work here. Let me just do this one. Get a new tab. Oh, well, anyway. This and close that. Okay. Oh yeah, it really is. What's the word on my prize, by the way? Azure Slime King? Your prize from the giveaway? Hang on, let me check. Your prize from the giveaway, right? You were one of the winners for that, right? Yeah. It should be there to you. Other guys in America have already got their packages, so if you haven't got it yet, it should be there any day. It was sent. If you just send me a message or email or something, I can get you the tracking number for that, but it should be there anytime. Yeah. I think like Adam just got his, I think yesterday in Florida, so yeah, I don't want to give out publicly where you're at, but just, I mean, I know you're not too far from there, so you should have got it. Okay, let me just pull this up here. Window, this one. Okay, all right. Here we go. Okay, here I am. Yes. So just want to take a look at this. So if you take a look at this silver bullet here, let me adjust the window a little bit here for you guys. Like that. And we'll make this a little bit smaller. There you go. So like, and then the Mark 5. So let's just start with the arms. So you see the just the armor for the arms, the shoulder, the upper arm, the lower arm. Not even close to the design on this. I mean, even the upper arm, which is like a pretty generic part, just like for the bicep, not the same. I mean, they could maybe just make it work, but you can see like it's got the hoses on the back side of the arm. Silver Bullet does not have that. Let's take a look at the chest, the torso. Very different there at the front with all the vents and everything. Silver Bullet does not have that at all. Maybe like that like kind of drum section there at the center is kind of like the only part that maybe could be reused. But that's about it. The waist section, see the Silver Bullet or the Mark V here. Those side parts, those big like kind of side skirt parts look similar, right? And those could probably be reused. The center section though is definitely different. So that one definitely not. The legs, again, look similar. See, this one has like little tiny knees on there. Kind of general, kind of similar kind of shape to that. But they seem a lot more bulkier and a lot more squared and larger on the Silver Bullet. So, I mean, the leg frame could be used here, I'm sure. But the armor is going to be completely different. See, the big circle parts on the sides are also different. They're larger in comparison. The vents, the back side of the legs is totally different there. So I think, you know, most of the frame in the leg could be reused, but none of the armor. The feet as well are just totally different. I mean, again, kind of similar shape in general. One big section on the front, two in the back. And it's kind of the same kind of thing. So I think, like, again, the frame could be used, but the part on the bottom and the top outer the part of the feet all will be different. So, I mean, and the backpack, of course. Like the center part of the backpack, even the center part of the backpack, see, it would be different. This is basically just have this one kind of generic section there in the center for the Mark V to plug the shield into the center. The Silver Bullet does not have that at all. So, I mean, as you can see, like maybe most of the frame and even not even that much of the frame, 50% of the frame could be reused, maybe 5% of the armor. That's about it. So, I mean, while the design's very close, very similar, it's certainly not like, oh, it's really more than like just a standard color swap or something like that. So it's not that simple, sorry to say. But that'll do it for today, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, and Ricky B asking about the Dovin Wolf. Yeah, I mean, with the Dovin Wolf, it's pretty much the same thing. Not really anything would be able to be reused. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm gonna work on the reviews of these. Also, like I said, the Gelgug Jaeger and the Domtropen and the Isaac. That review's already recorded. So all these reviews will be coming out next week. Yeah, a lot of stuff I need to work on reviews, and like I said, I'm working on just finishing up the MG Wing 0 EW Verka kit. I mean, like, as far as painting that, the whole painting and everything's all done. So that should be finished, and I'll show that to you guys next week. The Machining Krieger Kuster custom build that I was working on is done. I'll show that to you guys next week as well too. So just a lot of stuff. And the first episode of the GPO2 Master Grade Trash to Treasure series also is recorded. So I just need to edit that, and that'll be posted probably early next week as well too. So, all right, guys, that's what we've got to look forward to. And tonight I'll be live with Adam on the USA Gundam TV channel. Again, we're giving away an RG P Bandai RG new Gundam heavy weapon system. So leave a comment, leave a question on one of those posts online now, ahead of time, not during the show. You have to do it ahead of time. So do that if you want to be entered in the giveaway, and tune in to the USA Gundam TV channel tonight to watch that live, and then we'll also be giving that kit away. So, all right, guys, see you later.